Nope. Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Hello there. So I'm a technical writer by trade. Typically, I work with software to develop training and documentation and stuff. I'm very passionate about games and game design, so I've really enjoyed doing some playtesting. And I sure
I'm
do.
gonna interrupt you super quick. I'm watching the YouTube stream and I do not see my own screen. I see the Fun Facts Live starting soon. So I'm
Well, today I was actually inspired by the recent news. I'm not going to recount one for one, but the recent news about we have X-ray imagery of the black hole that's in the middle of our Milky Way galaxy. So, well, that's technically not my fact. It was, I wanted to do something inspired by that because I figured, that's in the news. Anybody can find that. But that got me real. Well, actually, I'll touch on it a little bit. That's actually, if I remember correctly, it's only like 27,000 light years away. Compared to the other black hole we saw imagery of a few years back, which is in I think it's around 50 million light years or something. But it's very cool to see the X-ray imagery of our black hole, because it was kind of speculated that galaxies would have black holes at their center as kind of the thing everything rotates around, and to be able to find it and to find our own is such a cool thing, because we're Earth. Not quite. At least I don't think so. I just know that our solar system is in one of the arms here, and to be able to get a good look at it, the X-ray of it, it's taken a lot of telescopes around the world to kind of piece together a picture of what we're orbiting around very, very slowly on a really big scale. Well, that's technically not the fact that I brought. I actually wanted to bring something that's a little closer to home. And this is kind of the story of humans in space travel. Well, maybe not quite humans. This is actually a little before humans. There's a lot of testing in the late 50s, early 60s about how do living organisms function in zero gravity. There, a lot of people didn't know if they functioned at all. Like the closest we had is you have planes that can do free fall for a little bit, which can kind of simulate that. But for a while there, we were not sure if anything could live in zero gravity. And so there was a lot of testing, and eventually the science folks at NASA worked their way up to having chimp pilots. And naturally, they didn't do a whole lot of piloting themselves, but but it's funny, the chimps themselves didn't do a lot of the piloting, which the astronauts who would like work alongside them or like came just after them were not very happy about being like, oh, you can just replace me with these chimps. But the two most famous were named Ham and Enos. And they were described in the official NASA literature as quote unquote crewman simulators. And Ham and Enos were the United States' first suborbital and orbital flight rehearsals with a living mammal on board. And they both survived. They're both fine. But it sounds like some of the handlers and some of the astronauts kind of resented them for going first. It's kind of stolen valor, I guess. Okay. I don't know if they received a rank. I do know I believe there's a memorial for them. It might be down in Florida, kind of saying, hey, thanks for all their hard work. And I remember hearing people would put like flowers on it, and because they're past now, they'd put flowers and sometimes bananas.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually really funny. Because of the way their ship or their capsule was designed, they didn't necessarily need suits at the time. But they did like test and develop suits for the chimps just to be safe, and like they didn't know if they might need them for building up to this big thing. And the suits themselves were actually certified humane by the SPCA at the time. And it's That's very good. Funny. They had to test them on humans to make sure that they were humane for the chimps. So. Mhm. Oof.
Ooh,
Mm,
yeah.
mm-mm.
Mm.
Yeah, there's a great book that actually I first heard this story about. It's called Packing for Mars by Mary Roach. And if you're curious about, how humans and space collide, and how you deal with the messy process of getting a person up there safely, and it's a super cool book. I recommend it. Right.
Okay. Mine, my fun fact is, I don't know. I guess you can stretch it that it's related in terms of like human biology. I don't know. Has nothing to do with has nothing to do with space. It's almost kind of the opposite of space in that it's like uh anyway. Anyway, so I don't know how if I've said this on the podcast or not before, but I am currently expecting a baby. Well, I am. You guys all knew, but now I guess I'm making the public announcement. So that's why I was not around last week. Yeah, I don't know how soon it could be. We're within I'm about a month out from my due date, so it's kind of could be any time at this point. Yes. Well, they weren't cute anymore, is what I like to say. I was like, these aren't cute vegetables, cute fruits and vegetables anymore. I don't want to think about it. You know, yeah, I think according to I think it's like a honeydew melon or something right now. And I'm like, that's just big. I don't want to think about that. The week that it was a pineapple was a little weird because I'm like, well, but like that's very pokey.
Yeah.
Ow. At least the honeydew melon is round. Well, anyway, so I wanted to share I don't know, I guess my favorite fact that I've learned about human development during this time. So this is not gross. I've learned plenty of gross things. I won't share those. But I would say that the more you learn about development, I mean, and not just humans, but I really of any animal, like the more it is a marvel that things don't go wrong more often than they do. Like so many things have to go right. And they do 99% of the time. Anyway, so my favorite fun fact is that at least in human development, and I'm guessing probably this holds true for mammals in general, are that the intestines initially develop inside the umbilical cord, and then they migrate back into the body. I know.
So they
Isn't that
develop like
weird and
outside of.
counterintuitive? But sorry, what?
So do they? Sorry, they develop outside of like the belly and then kind of go in.
Well, you know, the umbilical cord is connected to like where your belly
Right.
button is, right?
Mhm.
And so it's sort of like, yeah, they somehow I was trying to look up some of this and I didn't really get a clear picture of how this works, but it's like this, you know, the progenitor cells, I guess, are in the umbilical cord. It develops into this, you know, tube of intestines, and then they kind of, and then it's in humans, it's around the end of the first trimester. The they just like squeeze themselves back into the like abdominal cavity. I don't know. It's super weird.
You just gotta reel them in.
Yeah, I guess. And I mean, there's like, and you know, every now and then, I mean, you can have birth defects where babies are born with the intestines outside the body, but it's pretty rare, like 1 in 1,000 or something. So I mean, we're talking far less than 1%. Maybe it's even less than 1 in 1,000. I don't remember, but it's just sort of like, yeah, and it is, and it is a fixable birth defect with surgery. They just stuff everything back in there. I mean, you worry about infection, but yeah, they can. At least with modern medicine, it's a fixable thing. I mean, a couple hundred years ago, probably not, but but nowadays, yeah, they can fix that. Mm. Yeah, yeah. Mhm. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope that wasn't too gross. Well, presumably it all went right with your own development, so you don't need to worry about it. But your intestines are not suddenly going to come streaming out of your belly button with no warning. Don't worry.
Oh.
Um, well, Evan mentioned the Milky Way.
Okay.
So in Swedish, that's Vintergatan.
I'm going to need to see that written.
Maybe a little slower for me.
Vintergatan.
Vinto Gauta?
Gatan. It means the
With a
winter
G
street.
sound?
Yeah.
Okay. It's 2 words, right?
One word.
One word.
Yeah. The winter street.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, I can't connect it to any previous fun fact, but today is the annual finale of the Eurovision Song Contest in Europe.
Oh.
Well,
we're not in Europe.
Have...
That's true.
Well, you did just have the American Song Contest, which is based on Eurovision.
Right. And they do
And
it based on the
it's-
states.
Mhm.
Well, it was led by Kelly Clarkson and Snoop Dogg on like ABC or NBC. There's Swedish producers behind it too. So, yeah. Well, Eurovision has been an annual competition in Europe since 1956, except for 2020 due to the pandemic.
Mhm.
And it's organized by the European Broadcasting Unit, and in total 52 countries have participated at least once. And the most unexpected country is Australia.
Yeah, I was going to ask, why does
Yeah.
what I knew that Australia was in it, and I was going to ask, why does Australia get to be the one non-European country?
Because there's so many viewers. They
Ah.
were invited to join in the 50th anniversary, and then they just decided they could stay. Israel, yeah. So until the year 2000, or like 1999, it was one night and like 4 hours long. And since then there's semifinals too, because there's so many countries participating. So it's always during 1 week: Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So on Tuesday this year, there was 17 countries, and Thursday had 18. And each night, 10 acts go to the finale, which is today. And there's also always 5 or 6 countries that are directly qualified because they contribute so much financially. And that's United Kingdom, France, Spain, Italy, and Germany. Oh, and the winning country from the previous year, because they're the host of this year. Italy. And the big 5 are known for often ending up in the bottom because they don't really care. So, but Italy managed to win last year. Yeah. There's been 27 winning countries over 65 years. And the only year there was more than one winner was 1969 with 4 winners.
Whoa.
How does that happen?
Well, I assume they got the same amount of 12 points from the same amount of countries. So they couldn't be divided up. And there's only one person who's won twice, and that's Johnny Logan from Ireland. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ireland has won 7 times, and Sweden is in second place with 6 wins.
Including ABBA, right?
Yeah, there's been some big names. Cliff Richard lost by 1 point in 1968 for the UK. Julio Iglesias ended in 4th place for Spain in 1970. ABBA won for Sweden in 1974. Olivia Newton-John finished in 4th place in the same year, and Celine Dion won in 1988 for Switzerland. Yep.
Yeah. But she's Canadian.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah. The most or only internationally famous act this year is probably the band The Rasmus from Finland. It's a rock band.
I'll throw in a bonus American Song Contest. I don't even know if this counts as a fun fact, but a friend of mine competed in American Song Contest for Kansas and went. Maria, you looked up the results. He was like really close to the final. Is that the screenshot you sent me?
Yeah, he was like the next person, the first person who didn't reach the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I only know it because I pretty much only know about it because Maria and I talked about it, and because I saw I follow Broderick Jones on Instagram, and he was the Kansas representative for American Song Contest. Did very well.
Michael Bolton made the final in
Yes.
American Song Contest. Yeah.
Oh, he's been around for a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the songs that finished in the 3 first places were written by a Swede. The same Swede. Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay. I see. Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And I
Oh no, I was just kind of reacting to some various. Oh, I was gonna say like about the, I guess about, copyright expiring and then people being able to use characters and stuff. That's why we get you get repeated adaptations of movie adaptations of a number of like famous older books, right? Because the copyright is expired on like Little Women and Jane Austen's novels and stuff. And so people can keep, remaking those to their heart's content because there's no, the source material, the copyright is expired. So. Did you not have a library you could go to? Oh, sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm, I see.
They're working on changing part of that though. I was actually just reading yesterday that there's an act going through Congress that's about charging radio for public performance licensing, because currently radio, the quote in the article was that radio, I think it was quoting one of the members of Congress who's supporting it, that radio is the only medium that can use someone else's intellectual property and make money off of it and not have to pay, because that wasn't included in like some of those others, Yeah. Of course, there's a lot of legislation and litigation and all kinds of stuff about royalties and trying to make them fairer. And actually, I have a Billboard article in my email right now in my inbox that I haven't read yet, but the headline was something about how the conversation went from fair to accurate streaming royalties. It was a lot of discussion that when the streaming, all that sort of started, it was just Wild West and do whatever they want. And there's not really any right. Yeah, actually, so I guess I have a fun fact today because I was just reading. I'm sorry, I'm completely hijacking Allison. Oh, Allison, I'm completely hijacking yours. I'm sorry. Were you going? Okay. I was reading an article in the Ward the other day about Spotify's new Discover feature that basically artists can, or presumably their managers, when they upload a song, can check the little box that says yes, enroll me in Spotify's Discover program, which gives them more visibility. They're more likely to show up. You know how Spotify, once your playlist ends, they'll keep playing more songs that they think you'll like. They're more likely to pop up there, more likely to show up in Spotify's playlists, etc. But the artists get, I think it's half the normal royalties, with the logic being you're getting more exposure, so you're going to get more streams and it'll balance out. Actually, I know from personal experience that Amazon Publishing has something very similar. You can enroll in the Amazon Unlimited and it, Kindle Unlimited and things like that, and it limits your royalties, and you're also exclusive to Amazon. You have to promise you're exclusive to Amazon Music. Is a little different from that, but again, with the goal being that you are going to get more streams, so it will balance out. Managers like it for the most part, but actually some legislators have sort of weighed in saying that it's modern payola, that eventually everyone's going to do it. Everyone's accepting. It's like who's the lowest bidder, and people are accepting lower and lower.
Kind of a race to the bottom kind of thing.
Race to the bottom, exactly. Yeah. It's really, really controversial, and I don't know how it's going to turn out, because it's a pretty new program. And it was interesting in the article that almost all the managers quoted, I think there was one named, but most of them would only agree to discuss it like on the condition of anonymity. I think because it's, you don't see as a consumer who is enrolled in this Discover program and who's not. So you don't know if you are getting suggested this song because Spotify actually thinks you're going to like it, or is this person enrolled in this program that's going to make it show up more? I don't know. I'm interested to see where that goes. Yeah, some of the music books, like music business books that I've read, like of course go into, they have chapters and chapters on copyright, and I'm like, oh, my head hurts. It's a lot. It's really complicated, and it's really not, despite being so complicated, still artists make so little. I saw something that Bad Bunny is breaking tons of records with this new album. He was the first artist ever, I believe, to break, and now I don't even remember the number, I think a certain number of streams per day on Spotify for 5 consecutive days. And it was a total number of streams, some billion streams, and he made like $2.64 off of those Spotify streams. Yeah, it's not right. I think I said last week, bonus fun fact, that Peloton is the streaming service that pays artists the most. If you do, if you care about that kind of thing, actually, Napster is really high up there. If you use Napster, it's still
what a turn!
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's Napster's redemption arc.
Yes. Spotify is, YouTube is actually, I believe, the lowest. And then Spotify, Apple Music is a little higher. Tidal is a little higher, and Tidal has just recently changed their royalty scheme. So I wonder if that will change. But I actually switched from Spotify to Apple. Like, not that it's not that much more, but it's a little bit more. It makes me feel a little bit better. I don't know. I like Spotify better.
So when you say Apple, I mean, I assume you're referring to the streaming version, but I mean, like, I'm old school and I still buy, songs from the iTunes store sometimes.
Yes, I believe that's better. Still I believe that's still like the best. And actually, interesting part of BTS popularity, and they have 3 songs spend something like 20 consecutive weeks at the top of the Billboard charts for song downloads, for purchases like iTunes store, because their fandom really pushes like buy from the iTunes store.
I see.
Also, very recently, Tyler the Creator's album that came out last year, they just released a vinyl of it, and it like shot to #1 of album sales like last week, or I think it was last month actually, for an album that came out last year because of the vinyl sales. So still like buying merch is, merch and concert tickets and physical albums, things like that is really where the artists get more money. Streaming is not it.
The closer you get to sending the money directly to the artist, the better.
Yes, and some streaming services are offering. So AudioMac has a support option where it's kind of like Twitch's support. You buy a little you can buy a little badge, and all 100% of the money goes directly to the artist. And you promote a song, and your name pops up like RJ's #1 promoter of, Noemi's EP Sin Fin or whatever, and 100% of that money goes to the artist. I think Spotify is about to launch something like that, or they've talked about it.
Something
they did
like
launch
that.
it already.
Yeah.
I think AudioMac was maybe the first, or at least the one that I've seen the most. So one of the artists I follow closely, one of my fan account artists, did a campaign. It was like bidding basically. Whoever is the top supporter this month will win these custom Air Force Ones. Things like that. Artists can promote that. I think it's really cool. But yeah, streaming, not it.
Mm-mm. Oh, you brought it around. Congratulations. When you said things got weird, I was afraid this was going to end in you getting arrested, or I'm glad it was a happier ending than that. Yeah.
Thanks for the invite.
If you like the show, follow us on all the social media. We're at Hot Chai Games on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. If you're not watching live right now, we're Hot Chai Productions on YouTube, where we record this podcast with live art and then stream the Match Solitaire Daily Challenge every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. Like, subscribe, leave a review, and tell all your friends.
Bye.
Bye. I
Yes, you did. I was just about to say. Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had to start
Yeah.
over too. Shoot.
Mhm. Mhm. Nice.
Cool.
Finish number 1.
Oh, good. At least somebody did.
Oh, 2 is easy. Finish 2.
Oh boy. Okay, I got number 1, at least, on the screen. Yeah. Yeah, two is pretty easy. Okay, so I'm on 3 now, which is supposedly the hard one. So, here we go.
I have finished the first one.
Yeah, I got kind of a weird first match on the first one. Didn't seem intuitive, but
Yeah, I think I did that too, and it was still hard. But yeah. It's the same thing I already tried to do. It probably is.
Done with the second one. That was the easiest one.
Mhm. Oh, my cat has finally decided to come visit. Hello.
Oh.
She's come back to bed. Hi, you want to help? Yeah. She's not that helpful. She's cute though. With the fish, when they catch the fish, or they used.
Lift off.
You're not giving much of a description, David. So
I think I know what you're talking about, actually. But they used to watch cat TV pretty regularly, which is like on YouTube. It's kind of entertaining, actually. It's kind of like it's a little bit like a nature show without the commentary. Like it's just mostly, set up a camera in front of a little dish of bird seed and just film the birds and the squirrels and stuff that come through. Some of them are actually like look like they've been designed like 3D animated or something, because when I was cat sitting, my best friend's cat, he loved the ones with like bugs. It was like bugs crawling across the screen and like little rats and stuff. And they just watch that and chase them. And I guess they think it's real. I don't know. But now they loved it when we lived in a third floor apartment because we had some bird activity, but not a whole lot. Now we're in a townhouse and we have big windows everywhere. So they just watch like, the theater instead of the television.
Mhm. Sophisticated. We have a holly bush in front of one of our windows, and so it had put out berries, and the birds found the berries. And my cat Rosa was like, "Oh my God, this is the best TV show ever." And then, but the birds, so there were probably like half a dozen birds on it at once, and they ate all the berries in a day. This was like a year ago that this happened. And then she came back the next day and there were no more. Rosa came back the next day to watch them and there were no more berries. The birds didn't come. And she was so sad.
No.
She was like so visibly sad, like, who turned the TV off? Like who canceled my favorite show?
Oh. Yeah, we have no shortage of entertainment here because there's so many squirrels and also the murder of crows that lives outside. The bone crow. Yes.
The bone crow.
The bone crow and its family. Yeah. And at my parents' house, Otto, crazy orange cat, likes the ducks that go visit them in their pool. Almost every year they get baby ducks in their pool, which is the best thing ever. Although the past couple of years was dark, I'm sorry. Past couple of years there are bobcats in the neighborhood, so they have not had baby ducks. But Otto likes the ducks. I babysat him a couple weeks ago, and he was hunter mode, like watching bunnies out the front and ducks, all kinds of stuff. Oh.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, geese are scary. My dad, I think, has been not attacked, but like threatened by a few of the ducks as well. They're those mallards, and he says he'll go out and take pictures, and like when there are the babies, he says Daddy Duck has all his he's passing out cigars to all his friends. It'll be like full of the male ducks in the pool, like 6 or 7 of them. And if he gets too close, or if he's out doing like work in the plants around the pool, they'll hiss at him if he gets too close to the nest.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. I think my dad's office, I don't know if they still do, but for a while they had to block off part of the parking lot at a certain time every year because there was a hawk had its nest there, and it would actually attack people. Like that'll mess you up if they actually get you. So they'd actually put cones out like around a certain part. You can't obviously can't park there. You shouldn't walk through it.
Mm-hmm.
Dangerous.
Is everybody on 3 and like that? Okay. Okay, just checking.
I keep thinking I'm close, and then it just
I know,
doesn't
I keep thinking like, oh, I
quite
found
happen.
something different, and then it doesn't really work. Oh no, are you serious?
Wow.
Oh, congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
If you enjoy it, you should come visit me, because I believe I read that there's a museum in Dallas that has the largest collection of samurai things, like in the world, not in the world, in the United States, I think. Don't quote me on that. Uh, I haven't been, but I like drove by it and was wondering what it was and Googled it, and because we have the Crow I forget exactly what it's called. It's the Museum of Asian Art, and this is like separate from that. It's somebody, I think it's a private collection, but it's you can buy tickets and open to the public.
Hmm. Oh my gosh, this is, yeah. Yeah, I hear that.
Mm. Oh no. Okay. I was gonna say there are witnesses here, audio witnesses.
What? Oh no. And he survived?
Oh, nice landing!
Okay, so I do not know what I did differently, but I got number 3 while you were talking. I have no idea what I did differently, but I got there. So, all right. Phew.
No.
No, I thought I had it. No, I don't. Tragedy.
We're due for an easy one.
Yeah.